help video for you guys to understand more completely as asynchronous students your expectations and navigate all these different places where things are to achieve your best in chemistry. So I'm going to start with first what the daily assignments are, how to access them, and how to submit them. First, I want to point out in the grades area that there is a whole category of grades devoted to participation or evidence of engagement. So those students who are logged into my Blackboard classroom every day, any day, are going to be graded the same way as you are as an asynchronous student who doesn't plan, or I'm sending this to all my asynchronous students, so potentially for those of you who plan to never come to class. But the first disclaimer I'm going to make is please, please, please come to class. Everybody's asynchronous for a different reason. Certainly if it's because of flexibility, I understand that you need that, and have at it. You're going to have just as much flexibility here in the work you submit as you do in the attendance that you may or may not demonstrate. So, 3 points for evidence of engagement. Any day I do something interactive in class, which hopefully will be most days. These are the outlined expectations for live session, and they have been explained to those students. If you come to class every day and you're asynchronous, or you choose to come to class sometimes and you're asynchronous, you'll be judged according to these criteria. So there is flex in this. Every day I take notes about how my class goes and how things work out, and that's how we work it. So if you're coming to class, you don't need to submit the note taker every day, but you'll see a whole series of dates here for which I have planned some activity that you'll probably want to plan to take notes on the activity about, and each one of those is worth 3 points. So how do you get the assignments and how do you submit them? Let's look at that next. From the course homepage, you're always going to go to Tools and Assignments. I'm not going to embed these assignments into content in the course because it's not related. Even if it is, the content in the course I'm treating like a textbook, and I'm teaching pieces of it at various times. So our communication is going to really be necessary in order to make this work. But if you always go to assignments, you'll see them in order, and there will be a category, evidence of engagement, listed here. You'll see the date and any attachments. So the PDF version of the notes is something you can grab without even going into the Dropbox folder. If I click that, I actually want to open it in a new tab so that when it opens, you can see what it looks like. It's a series of questions with areas for you to submit your answers, for you to type in your answers. And if you have, I'm not exactly sure the version of PDF that you have, but I'm assuming you have mine. Probably all that you have to do is click Edit PDF. Or maybe not. I'm not exactly sure how that goes. I edited a PDF differently the other day, super easy. I just clicked in it and typed. If you don't have that ability, that's okay. I have another neat version for you here to submit. And where do you find that? You click directly on the Dropbox title. So if you click into the Dropbox title, there will be some details about the live session on 9/13. Again, you can download, complete by hand or in typing the PDF, or you can click this link right here, which takes you to this page. This page looks exactly like the PDF, except it's a live document, so you can type your answers in as you find them, or as you consider them, or as you think about them. And when you're all done, you can click this button up here, which is your download button. And you would click download, and it asks you to enter your name. There's honestly no reason to do that. I don't get a report on whether or not you did it. You need to do it in order to generate the PDF. And then this generating PDF business gives you a link to download the PDF. So then you click that, and you get the save button. This is what it looks like when you have completed it online and then chosen to download it. It might be a little bit more neat for your own personal note purposes. It doesn't have those big boxes. Maybe like the big boxes, totally up to you. Anything you leave empty will say no answer. And there's no way to save your progress in this live version that I'm showing you. It's just a matter of completing it and downloading it. You can clear your answers at any time by hitting trash. yes, clear. Okay, again, that's just an option. You can otherwise submit a PDF. And this is the Dropbox to which you would do that. Just add a file like always. So that's where you find the assignment, why you're doing the assignment, and how to submit the assignment. Now let's look at the source of where you probably get most of your understanding or answers to those assignments. Okay, here we are in CK12. CK12 is a platform in which I can just onslaught you with all sorts of goodies, really super awesome goodies, and I'm pretty sure that most of my students have signed up by this time. If you have not, please get in touch with me or check your email. I have been trying to reach you a lot about this because I have a class code for you, and that's how we're going to go about doing it. But for everyone else who has created an account, please click sign in. And I have a student account that I am working with, so I'm going to sign in using that so that you see what I see when you log in. Okay, so when you log in, first and foremost, what you should notice at the top right-hand corner is your name. Probably if you haven't given yourself an avatar yet or a little icon, you can do that. But it'll just show as like a little grayed out person. I want to point out to you that everything you need can be clicked on from that area. So the rest of it can get pretty confusing in terms of, you know, where should I go and what should I do? We don't need a whole new training on this website, just click your name. When you open and sign in every day, you're going to see the dashboard, which is fabulous because the dashboard will give you what I have recently, the latest assignments I have put into the class. For today, you are going to need the scope of chemistry pre-quiz. And so you don't need to go any further. You can just simply click start and move through the questions. So I'm going to model that for you here. I will actually do that. So you can start, if you don't want to do it or you decided not to do it, whatever the case is, you can click the X here. But I mean, this is just really super basic quiz taking, just like you do in the LMS. I have done this a few times to create the recording, so I only have one more time. Let's start it one more time. There's supposed to be unlimited attempts. I don't know why it's not doing that. So I'm just going to randomly click through some answers here. I'm going to go A, B, C, D, A, B, select all that apply. I'm going to select them all and I'm going to submit. And you have to click submit and it's going to show you up here that you are done. You make sure it goes through and it will tell you what your score is and how many correct you got, how many you skipped, and how much time it took. And you have to click, when you are done, you must click turn in. You must click turn in. So let's click that. And then it says, this is your score. Continue? Yes. I don't care what your score is. You should only have one attempt on this quiz, actually. I think you should only have one attempt. And when you're done, you should have been able to see the answers. Yep, down here, answers. I don't want you to see them yet. When you're done, you click the X. And that's that. Okay? Now, that goes away from your dashboard once you've completed it, so no question about that. Now you have these other things here, and actually, all of the things I've assigned are not showing. So, to be sure that you know all that's going on here in the course, for live session, you go back to your name and you click My Classes. On the left-hand side, you click whatever chemistry shows up. I have a different class set up for each of my times, each of my live sessions, so I just added myself to the 12:30 section, and here's our class. In the next part of this video, or in another video, I'm going to share with you what you can do from the class screen. Okay, so here we are in the class screen. We came here by clicking on our name and clicking My Classes, and then we chose the section that we're in. There should be only one that shows up. And then we're in our class section. You'll notice that I was playing around with this earlier and posted something in the discussion area here. I haven't chosen to adopt this technology because there's a discussion area. So if you never use this, I'm fine with that. Totally cool. However, everything that's on the left is very important to me and to you. So let's review that. I want to first point you to this assignment. Let's go with assignments first, because I'm using this as our live session chemistry companion. You don't need this for homework unless you know, or for study unless you want to use it. So that's entirely up to you. There should be all of your assignments here that you have not completed. So in the last portion of the video, or in the last video, I showed you how to complete a pre-quiz. Here I'm going to show you what's left after you've completed that pre-quiz. Once the pre-quiz is done, there's no revisiting it, and I don't want you to. But you can click See Completed Assignments and be sure that you've done that. Okay? So we'll go back here. These are our topics for class today. These are the areas that we're going to study in class today. You're not going to do all of them if you are in class with me today. However, you know, I like the divide and conquer mentality, so we're going to try to do that and reconvene at the end for some review. If you're an asynchronous student, this is going to be a hub of information for you, because you're either going to watch through our entire recording and go through all of these yourselves, or maybe do one yourself and see what the other students said and make notes in your note taker that way. Or maybe you're going to do it all entirely yourself and read all of these articles and do it all yourself, and that's okay. But this is where it's all being housed. And again, just one more shout out. The reason I've adopted it is not to replace what's in our course. This stuff in some cases aligns with our course. It doesn't have the breadth of what's here. There is not, I mean, this is as rich with information, and I want to share that as much as I can with you. So each of these you can click on and hit start to open it up and see the lesson. Now you'll notice it opened a new tab in my browser. So if I want to get back to my class, I can just go back to that tab. But this lesson has opened up in the other tab. And so there's some information here, and at the bottom there's a link to a video. Okay? From our class page, I want to point out one other thing to you, one other major important thing, the only other thing you need to consider here, and that is the shared resource. The shared resource will not change all year. I mean, there will only be one item there. It's called my Chemistry Classroom Companion, and what it is a textbook. It is a textbook that is altered by me with information that comes from this organization and anywhere else on the internet that I can just tie all together. And what I plan to do is basically make a different lesson for every day we're going to do something in class. So if we look at what we're going to do today in class, we're why studying chemistry. We have scope, medicine, agriculture, materials, environment, etc. Oh, well, I just looked at a medicine lesson. I opened this from my assignments tab. I can also open that from my textbook. And so if you are an asynchronous student and you are wanting to look around and maybe work ahead or get some more insight on things that you might have missed that weren't assigned to you in the assignment area, you can do that here. And to navigate through the textbook, you would if you're done with this lesson, you go back and click the Classroom Companion, and you'll see that there. So at the end of the year, we should probably have about near 100 items here. Right now, we only have the first unit. And on the right-hand side, you can tell that there's nothing in some of them. Because as I prepare lessons for live session, I will prepare the lessons in here. Those two things will go together and they will mesh. This allows you to follow up on information that you might have missed during class. It allows my asynchronous students to stay right on par with those students who are in class. And it allows us to also be interactive, because there's going to be many opportunities in here to do more than just read and watch videos. So that's the textbook.